Hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word. Hey, today we are actually concluding talking about the fruit of the Spirit. The fruit of the Spirit is a section, and it's in Galatians 5, verses 22 to 23. And it's a section that we're talking about 9 different fruit of this Holy Spirit. And so today we're talking about self-control. And self-control is here, on here. And all the fruits are listed on this fruit. And love is the main one. And again, I've said it over and over again. If you want to know the fruit of the Spirit, you can't possibly memorize all the fruits and work on them. If you got love, if you have love, then you pretty much have them all, okay? So if I have like self-control, which I'm talking about today, but I don't have anything else, I really don't have love, okay? So, and again, 1 Corinthians 13 talks about that. Let's read today Galatians 5, 22 to 23. And I know you're going to go, Todd, I have that memorized because you keep saying it so much. Well, let's go over it one last time here. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. Okay? So this last fruit is self-control. A great example for this, and we've talked about the different examples. I'm trying to bring out these examples to show you what that fruit looks like, okay? Because you go, we know what self-control looks like, but some of the others, goodness and some of the others, you're like, what does that actually mean? But self-control is being able to control yourself, okay? And there's times where if you've given yourself over to drugs, are you controlling the drug? Are you controlling your body? No, the drugs are controlling you, okay? To the point of destruction. And we have witnessed to that so often in our lives of not ourselves being addicted to the drugs, but other people addicted to the drugs. And the drugs are controlling them, okay? They don't have self-control anymore. They have drug control, okay? So self-control is a fruit of the Spirit here. And so 1 Samuel 26 is a great example of that, and I want to read that today. And again, when we're reading this stuff in the fruit, about the fruit of the Spirit, some of these passages that I'm reading are a little bit longer, but it helps us to understand more fully what these things are. So it's like I can't cut it out and leave the verses out because you don't understand the story here. So 1 Samuel 26 is the dealing with David and Saul. To give you a little background here, Saul hates David, okay? And David has come and he's been serving Saul in the past, and this is, after David and Goliath and so forth. And Saul is out hunting David down, trying to kill him, okay? And but David has always had restraint. He's always had self-control, okay? He didn't react. He knew that God had chosen Saul, and so he wasn't going to kill him. It wasn't up to David to do that. And he always exhibits self-control. When Saul throws the spear at him, Saul doesn't pick it, or David doesn't pick it up and throw it back at him, okay? He just takes off running. Today, what I read here is a great example of David's self-control. Chapter 26, verse 1. The Ziphites went to Saul at Gibeah and said, "Is not David hiding in the hill of Helkelah, which faces Jeshimon?" So Saul went down to the desert of Ziph with his 3,000 select Israelite troops to search there for David. This is a little overkill. He's taken 3,000 troops that could be doing something else to go hunt down David, one of his own soldiers, really. And he goes to hunt him down because of his jealousy over David. 3,000 troops. Verse 3, Saul made his camp beside the road on the hill of Helkelah, facing Jeshimon. But David stayed in the wilderness, when he saw that Saul had followed him there, he sent out scouts and learned that Saul had definitely arrived. Then David set out and went to the place where Saul had camped. He saw that Saul and Abner, son of Ner, the commander of the army, had lain down. Saul was lying inside the camp with the army encamped around him. David then asked Ahimelech the Hittite and Abishai, son of Zophar, Joab's brother, who will go down with me into the camp with me to Saul? I will go, said Abishai. These were select soldiers that David had. And we can talk about that more at a later date. David had just a few soldiers, but they were really good. They were select guys, and they weren't, all Jewish. They were from all around the area. And Saul and his leaders are camped. They're all camped there, but Saul is in the inner area. So to get to Saul, you'd have to go past all the other soldiers around him. They completely surrounded him, and naturally to protect the king. Okay. So David says, takes 3 guys and says, "Hey, who wants to go with me?" And these guys say, "Yeah, I'll go." So David and Abishai went to the army by night, and there was Saul lying asleep inside the camp with his spear stuck in the ground near his head. Abner and the soldiers were lying around him. Abishai said to David, "Today God has delivered your enemy into your hands. Now let me pin him to the ground with one thrust of the spear. I won't strike him twice." So David's buddy there says, "Let me just kill him. All I need is one swing. I'm not gonna have to do this twice. It's one swing and we'll be done. We can go home." Let's see what David says. But David said to Abishai, "Don't destroy him. Who can lay a hand on the Lord's anointed and be guiltless? And as surely as the Lord lives," he said, "the Lord himself will strike him, or he will go into battle and perish. But the Lord forbid that I should lay a hand on the Lord's anointed. Now get the spear and water jug that are near his head, and let's go." Okay, so they didn't kill him, and David said, "No, it's not going to be me that kills him." And so they just basically go and steal his spear and his water jug that's right near his head. Okay, which would be rather embarrassing when you're going to see here in the story when he's called out on it, and his spear and water jug are gone, and he went past all those soldiers. So David took the spear and the water jug near Saul's head, and they left. No one saw or knew about it, nor did anyone wake up. They had all been sleeping because the Lord had put them into a deep sleep. The Lord is still has his hand in this. Then David crossed over to the other side and stood on top of the hill some distance away. There was a wide space between them. He called out to the army and to Abner, son of Ner, "Aren't you going to answer me, Abner?" Abner replied, Who are you who calls the king?" David said, "You are a man, aren't you? And who is like you in Israel? Why didn't you guard your lord the king? Someone came to destroy your lord the king. What you have done is not good. As surely as the Lord lives, and you and your men must die, because you did not guard your master, the Lord's anointed." And that was the common thing. If you let a prisoner escape, you were the one killed if you were guarding him. And so it'd be a similar punishment here. "Look around you. Where's the king's spear and water jug that were near his head?" Saul recognized David's voice and said, "Is that your voice, David, my son?" Now Saul's all trying to be friendly here. David replied, "Yes, it is, my lord, the king." And he added, "Why is my lord pursuing his servant? What have I done, and what wrong am I guilty of? Now let my lord the king listen to his servant's words. If the Lord has incited you against me, then may he accept an offering. If, however, people have an offering, If, however, people have an offering, have done it, may they be cursed before the Lord. They have driven me today from my share in the Lord's inheritance, and have said, 'Go serve other gods.' Now, do not let my blood fall to the ground far from the presence of the Lord. The king of Israel has come out to look for a flea, as one hunts for a partridge in the mountains." David is saying, "You're out here looking for me. I'm just a little guy." Then Saul said, "I have sinned. Come back, David, my son, because you are considered my life precious today. I will not try to harm you again. Surely I have acted like a fool and have been terribly wrong." I'd say so. You're bringing 3,000 guys against David here. Here is the king's spear, David answered. Let one of your young men come in over and get it. The Lord rewards everyone for their righteousness and faithfulness. The Lord delivered you into my hands today, but I would not lay a hand on the Lord's anointed. As surely as I valued your life today, so may the Lord value my life and deliver me from all troubles. Then Saul said to David, May you be blessed, David my son. You will do great things and surely triumph. So David went on his way, and Saul returned home. Okay? If any of us was, most of us, we were in that situation, if I was in that situation, a guy's coming to chase me down with 3,000 guys, most likely I would react, and if I had the opportunity, I would kill him. I would lose self-control at that point. Like, you tried to kill me, and I'm coming after you. But David has self-control here, okay? And he's operating in God's power here. And he has that opportunity to just end it, and then he's a free man, and most likely he'll become king, and so forth. But he has restraint, he has self-control. He says, I'm not going to do it. And even his buddies were like, hey, this is the time to do it. He's right here. He says, hey, you don't even have to kill him. I'll kill him, and I don't have to swing twice. Okay? And David says, nope, that's not going to happen. Not with me. So, again, he has self-control. And that's the last fruit of the Spirit that we're talking about here is self-control. And it's all part of love. So we ended up today, here's self-control here. You guys see it? Yeah, the self-control. And it's all part of love. Let me find love. Oh, here's love. Okay. So all these things work together. And this is evidence. You'll know a Christian by the fruit they have. If they don't have this stuff, you'd be like, are you sure you're a Christian? Okay. Now, I'm not saying they're perfect. Okay. We all are going to sin. There's many times I don't have love. Okay. Or I don't have self-control. That doesn't mean I'm not saved, but this should be like a natural outflow. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense as to what we're talking about here. All right, thank you for watching. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our journey through the book of Galatians. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.